Son.
Oh, I said, yo, you live Twitter. Shut up. Yeah, go to practice.
I'm seeing that Paige can't guard me.
We're on the same team.
Well, you started it.
Yeah, but she paid for my life. I didn't say much.
Guys, hello, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. And guys, I got some exciting, humorous news, okay, as it pertains to the WNBA and our Dallas Wings team, okay? We got Paige Bueckers, the latest and greatest, okay, #1 overall WNBA's 2025 draft pick, okay? She has just been acquired by the Dallas Wings, okay? Her and her latest and greatest teammate, Dijonai Carrington, have decided to roast each other on the internet. Guys, please excuse me if I have like some congestion, some sinus issues I'm experiencing. Again, I usually have like very mild allergies, but I don't know, this New Mexico spring has just been whipping me today. I've been sneezing all day. You know, my throat and everything just feels clogged up. I'm about to pop me a Zyrtec in a minute, so please bear with me. So this is an article brought to you by Sports Illustrated. It is titled, Paige Bueckers, Dijonai Carrington Trade Roast Before Wings WNBA Training Camp. The Dallas Wings turned the page on a new chapter for their franchise. Get it? That's a cute, you know, little double meaning. They turned the page on a new chapter for the franchise when selecting former UConn Husky superstar Paige Bueckers with the #1 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft earlier this month. Not only is Bueckers going to make a major impact on the court for Dallas, but her stardom is going to move the needle for the franchise in a massive way. Perhaps similar, albeit not equal to the attention that drafting Caitlin Clark brought to the Indiana Fever 1 season ago. Given the stakes of drafting Bueckers, it's easy to forget the other roster changes that Dallas experienced earlier this offseason, the most notable of which is losing standout wings Natasha Howard and Satou Sabally, which is so sad. Again, guys, Satou Sabally, she was able to request a trade, and she has now become a Phoenix Mercury. So, you know, also be able to follow her career. Of course, she's still in the W, but she just went right next door in the Western Conference into Phoenix, Arizona. It says, while bringing former Indiana Fever forward Alyssa Smith and former Connecticut Sun guard Dijonai Carrington to the team. Carrington is best known for being an elite defender. However, that doesn't seem to faze Bueckers, which she conveyed in an April 27 Twitter post before the Wings training camp commences. The Dallas Wings Twitter account made a post that read, letting our players be admin, bear with us. In other words, the following posts were coming straight from the players' fingers. One of those subsequent posts wrote, Dijonai can't guard me, Paige Bueckers. So that's what Paige Bueckers had to say. She said, Dijonai cannot guard me. And then the next post came from Carrington, who said, hashtag get Paige some sunlight, Dijonai Carrington. Okay, so she is clowning her. Again, you know, it's a running joke. A lot of players, okay, they like to joke on Paige Bueckers, you know, pale complexion, okay, saying like, girl, you need some sunlight and woo woo woo. It was actually some fans that were worried that if Paige Bueckers were to get sent to the LA Sparks, they were like, you know, Paige is just so pale, like, you wouldn't look that good in the LA Sparks. You know, they got the yellow jerseys. And it was like, if she's going to go to the LA Sparks, she needs to start tanning, okay, in order for her, you know, her skin to kind of get a little bit of glow in the LA Sparks jersey.
A lot of expectations on your new teammate, Paige, obviously. Just what are you seeing from her so far?
I'm seeing that Paige can't guard me.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, but you know, she's a student of the game. Her IQ is super high. You don't have to tell her things multiple times. You know, it's quick. So they'll draw something up. We got to go execute it. And she's able to translate from the board to the court real quick. She understands basketball. She understands reading defenses. She understands defensively how to switch and, you know, just kind of being there for each other and just reading off of each other. So I think it's huge when you just have a good feel for the game. Especially at this level, it's not going to all be able to be cookie cutter, or we're not going to be able to tell you when this happens, you have to do this. You're just going to have to fill it out, and I think she's doing that really well.
This is a reference to some fans saying Bueckers looked pale during her first official team photos with the Wings. Of course, these mutual roasts are lighthearted and convey the chemistry that is already brewing between the Wings' best players before the 2025 season kicks off. Again, guys, I will be reporting more on the Dallas Wings. I love this group already, okay? It's just so weird to see everybody leave. Again, like I'm not a huge fan, okay? Specifically in women's college basketball, everybody hitting the transfer portal. Again, almost 1 out of 4 players, almost 25%. It was 23% of women's in this latest, you know, 2024 through 2025 collegiate women's basketball class. A lot of them hit the transfer portal, 23%, okay? And I'm not a fan of everybody playing musical chairs. But, you know, Dijonai Carrington, she did like 4 seasons, you know, with Connecticut, and Alyssa Smith did like 3 seasons with, you know, Indiana, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, I'm kind of hesitant to like buy certain players' jerseys because I still got Dijonai Carrington's Connecticut Sun jersey. I'm like, girl, I'm not about to buy you know, your Dallas Wings jersey. It's probably gonna be like $80+ when you just sign like a 1 year, contract deal. But who knows? She probably will like it. Again, like she said that her and her girlfriend, Alyssa Smith, they plan to buy a house either, I believe, in Arlington, Texas or Dallas, Texas. So she may be there to stay. She said, like, she loves Texas. She's great to be back in such a great state. As if you don't know, she actually met her girlfriend, Alyssa Smith, under Kim Mulkey. They were both at Waco, Texas, playing at Baylor University. Okay, go Bears. And that's how they met. So, she seems excited. So she may be there to stay. I need to get Paige Bueckers' jersey. I want to get Camila Cardoso jersey. I might get Caitlin Clark's jersey. Okay, so it's a lot of jerseys I still gotta get. I gotta get Rakia Jackson jersey. I'm sure she's gonna be at the LA Sparks for some time. But Asia Wilson's jersey, again, like, it's just so much. I'm glad I didn't get Kate Martin's last year because, again, she just moved on to the Golden State Valkyries. Again, the Dallas Wings team just seems so fun. I have to go on a tour. Okay, might have to just go on a world tour. Okay, these next couple months during the WNBA season. I've never been to Seattle. Okay, I want to go see some Seattle games. I still have to go to Vegas, Brooklyn, New York City. I've been to New York once, but I ain't gonna lie, it can be intimidating riding the train. So if I'm gonna go to, see the New York Liberty in person, I believe they're located in Brooklyn. Okay, it's a very nice, place. But I honestly am not trying to get on nobody's subway ever again. Okay, the first time when I was in New York City, ride the subway, I seen a lot of craziness on them trains. I don't know how you New Yorkers do it. Okay, people are crazy in New York, and taking public transportation is wild out there. I still may have to go to Connecticut. I want to go to Uncasville, Connecticut, where the Connecticut Sun is headquarters at, because again, like, Uncasville is a huge casino community. So it does seem like there's like nothing to do there. It's like less than 30,000 people, but they have like golf and like a huge casino, and like, they have like, the sports arena. So I'm like, it might be worth checking out. Of course, I gotta go to Atlanta. I gotta go to Atlanta Dream Game, DC, Washington DC. Even though, again, like, I've been there right before I got deployed 2 years ago, but it was a lot going on. It was busy. I got to see the White House and things and do a tour. But it's just so exciting this upcoming season. I got to get to places. Of course, I'm gonna be in Indianapolis. I gotta catch some Fever games, and of course I'm gonna be in Chicago. Again, that's just a 5-hour drive from Columbus, and like a 2-hour drive from Columbus. Going from Columbus to Indianapolis, Indiana, we neighbors. So of course, like, I don't even have to fly out there. I'm gonna just drive over there. But like the places like Vegas, Seattle, like, that's a flight. Again, Paige Bueckers and Dijonai Carrington are already like siblings, okay? Like, Dijonai Carrington is taking on that big sister role, okay, as it pertains to Paige Bueckers, and I love it. I absolutely love it. They are both blondes, okay? If you guys don't know what Dijonai Carrington said, like, yes, my mama gave me this. She is a natural blonde. They are the only blondes on the Dallas Wings team, so you already know the blondes got to stick together. Paige Bueckers, girl, it gets really hot down there, over there. Okay, I'm right next door to y'all in New Mexico, about an 8-hour drive. Okay, sometimes it gets like 120 plus degrees Fahrenheit in Dallas, Texas. So, girl, even though Dijonai Carrington wanted to be shady and roast you down about you needing some sunlight, put on some sunscreen.